even if it is for something pretty minor, it's really nice that we can go and visit Earth and all that stuff again. Hey everybody, welcome back to more Mass Effect. I'm SlayerMathis, and last time we took care of the last of the side quests for a while by heading over to the moon. And this time, my controller got unplugged. We'll be heading over and grabbing a new party member in the Artemis Tau cluster. As you can see, there are 4 different systems. I want to say Liara is in Knossos. I might be wrong. I am wrong, I think. Am I? No, I'm not. It is this one. Yes, so Knossos on Theorem is where we want to go. This mission is the most similar to our side missions that we've been doing for the last about 10 parts. But that should be fine. We'll grab this, then we'll grab one of the other planets. Now, this one, usually I like doing last. There is some very amusing dialogue if you do this one last. But, it's fine. Yeah, usually there's some fun dialogue if you do it last. Channel asteroid here. Some platinum. As for this, let's bring along Rex, and let's bring along Garrus.
Commander, I'm picking up some strange readings. Really strange, like off the damn charts. It looks like it's coming from an underground complex a few clicks away from the drop zone.
Yeah, there is our marker for the fact that this is the correct planet, and also the fact that this one looks very different from anything else. Now we get a very tank-based mission. The other main planets do have some involvement with tanks, but this is the one where the tanks are the most important, and there's also the least story. Pharos and Novaria, we do know, are both inhabited planets, so they kind of lose out a little bit on some Mako exploration and have some on-foot exploration, which I like way better. Again, the Mako's fun, but the novelty wears off eventually. Especially because in missions like this, it feels very slow. And the boost helps, but it still feels very slow. Yeah, we can just keep driving along. We got some nice little scenic lava pits. There's gotta be something real important here in order to try something here. Hello. This is the proper introduction to armatures. Of course, we haven't seen them before because of our exploration, but this is the first time that we would get them in the story. Well, okay, actually no, that's a lie. I believe going to Pharos is the one where we get the introduction to armatures. Basically, each planet has a new type of guest that they introduce. And actually, no, this one is.
Only a fool punches a map back in the mouth. We should sneak around and kill its tail.
Of course, that's telling you that we can't actually go through this way, or so you think. Okay. I'm bad at it, but if you get flipped over, just hold down A, or the jump button. Whatever your button is for the jump. And it'll actually flip you over. It is possible to get over that. Completely possible. Don't worry. But I am lazy, and I don't want to do it. So instead, we will go the recommended long way around. Let's get the Juggernaut in there. And of course, because we are in a tank, and these are foot soldiers, pretty easy to clear out. For the most part. There are some enemies that refuse to come outside because they're smart. But very few and far in between. As in, there's only 2. Which, maybe it's possible to kill him through here, but I'm not gonna bother. This shot me pretty well. It's not like it's, you know, a Juggernaut or a Destroyer even. Just basic shot. Down you go. We do need this to activate the gate. We are starting to really get some good level. We're starting to get some good equipment now. We're starting to get to our 6s. Of course, as you'd expect, it's based off of your level for what sort of equipment you get. Later games in the series do not have this sort of leveling system. Well, they do have the leveling system, but they don't have the equipment leveling. It's just, you have your specific type of guns, and the guns actually do mean something a little bit different. Because as is, all of the guns all feel very similar, but later on in the series we will get some different feeling guns, so that's always fun. Speaking of, wow, we got a lot of things. Rex, you could probably use... Actually, the katana's really good. Here, let's give Rex some new armor. So Garrus some new armor. And just like with the rest of this stuff, just like with how the... Where am I even at? Which way did I come from? That way. Just as with the weapon system, the gun system is a little bit different, or the armor is a little bit different. Everyone just has set armor, and they are also a little bit different, a little bit more different in terms of how well they fight, because I think, right, as is, everyone's health is fairly similar. Mainly the armor that'll do things, but again, later on in the series, everything becomes a little bit more specialized, less samey. Now, with the armor trees, you can actually do something a little bit fun. You can actually push them into the lava, and it will pretty quickly kill them. It's not an instant kill. There is a later mission that has some instant kill mechanics. That being our mission when we get after 2 of the main missions are completed. And gun you down. Put you... It's very simple. Rocket troopers are very much not an issue. Colossus, run you over. Fighting a Colossus or Armature by itself is incredibly easy. You just have to remember to push it over every now and again. Get in a good position to shove it. And there we go. Pretty easily taken care of. Let's actually start using some things that we can do for Bastion. As for Garrus, might as well get him another skill. Rex, we'll give him Warp. Nice little turnaround. Meow. Yeah, this is by far my least favorite of the main missions in Mass Effect 1. There's not much story to it. Really, it's a very gameplay-focused mission. And it's tank gameplay, which is very hit or miss, and especially if you've been doing side quests for a while, like I have, it's very repetitive. Yeah, Mako gets a bit boring after a while. But it's fine. At least it is a very different environment, so that's a good thing. Just zoom along. Wall rockets. If you want to, you can just avoid killing them, but that's some free money just lying there, waiting to be grabbed. So, I'm gonna not... Oh, you actually survived. And pretty handily, too. Now we are getting close to the end, and here is where you're supposed to leave the Mako behind. However, you can actually still get through that little gap with the Mako. And it will make something up ahead pretty easy. And it's... Getting the Mako through is even easier in Legendary Edition because we have the boost. So yes, it is entirely possible to get the Mako through here, and I'm going to try to do that. Oh, there we go. That's even possible in original Mass Effect 1, but because we have the boost, it's way easier here in Legendary Edition. And this area is not very built for the tank. It's built for you to be on foot, hence the lots of cover, and it's supposed to be an introduction to fighting some big groups on foot. You can get past here. Again, right where that little gap, little cliff face thing, that's where you're supposed to leave the Mako behind, but I decided not to. Also, I'm really surprised how quickly I managed to get through that. I expected that to take way longer. But yeah, this place is very unfriendly to the Mako, because, well, you're not supposed to be in here. It's a little fun thing, and I mean, it's not like it's game-breaking or anything. We're not going to be able to use it the whole mission. We can see that there is an elevator. We do have to be on foot for that. So it's not like we are skipping the whole mission. It's not like we're going to be able to do the whole thing on Mako. Huh. I appear to be having some difficulty. There we go, some weird collision there. That's fine, you can push those around. Very fun. And this is where we are introduced to the Stalkers. Yeah, the game really does not know how to handle being in the Mako. And also, introduction? It is our introduction to armatures. I thought that the armatures was on a different mission, but nope. It is in here. So yeah, normally, this is a pretty tough firefight. You have to be very cautious because, well, you're facing an armature on foot. You're facing a tank on foot. But... nah. I would much rather just use a tank. And there's one more enemy somewhere. There we go. But that is the extent to what our Mako use can be, because while we can slip the Mako through a nice little crevice, we can't bring it into a mine. Yeah, it's a very easy... It's This is a very exploitable mission because of just being able to bring the Mako in to that second section. Or section 1.5, I suppose, would be maybe a little bit more accurate. Let's just throw you off. By finally coming in handy a little bit. I'm gonna barrier myself. And let's lift. Close quarters sniper, interesting choice. I'm actually gonna map barrier so that I can just quick use it. It's gonna be more helpful than anything else in terms of being quick used. Because, I mean, it's just a free defensive buff.
I've never visited a Prothean ruin before. Aside from the Citadel, I mean.
We're learning some history, Garrus. Also, you'll blend right in. Nice camouflage, Garrus. Really fits. Slowly moving down. Rather slow elevator, but not terribly so. We've seen slower. And we got some death drones. Sabotage you. Let's overload. Prepare ourselves up as well. Yeah, barrier is the defensive buff. The other ability that we have coming up is stasis. Stasis temporarily takes an enemy out of combat. As in, like, they're completely out of combat. It's not just you can pause them so that you can deal a ton of damage. They cannot do damage, they cannot deal damage. They can't deal damage, they can't take damage. They are just not able to do anything.
Hello? Could somebody help me? Please? Can you hear me out there? I'm trapped. I need help.
Liara to Sony, I presume.
Thank the goddess. I did not think anyone would come looking for me. Listen, this thing I'm in is a Prothean security device. I cannot move, so I need you to get me out of it, all right?
Your mother is working with Saren. Whose side are you on?
What? I am not on anybody's side. I may be Benezia's daughter, but I'm nothing like her. I have not spoken to her in years. Please, just get me out of here.
How'd you end up in there?
I was exploring the ruins when the Geth showed up, so I hid in here. Can you believe that? Geth, beyond the veil! I activated the tower's defenses. I knew the barrier curtains would keep them out. When I turned it on, I must have hit something I wasn't supposed to. I was trapped in here. You must get me out, please!
We'll find some way to help you.
There is a control in here that should deactivate this thing. You'll have to find some way past the barrier curtain. That's the tricky part. The defenses cannot be shut off from the outside. I don't know how you'll get in here. Be careful. There is a Krogan with the Geth. They have been trying different ways to get past the barrier.
So yeah, we've finally met Liara. And a fun thing about... Oh, well, there's a lot of Geth there. Fun thing about this, I mentioned that I usually like doing this mission last. If you do this mission last, she will actually think that she's hallucinating, which is a fun little detail. But next time, we got a lot of death to deal with? Geth to deal with. But we also do have a lot of death to deal. So until then, see you guys later.